What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video. It's honestly been a while since I made one, but this one's going to be a little different. I used to always make the week in the life ones, and while I am going to start doing those again, I'm also going to start making more value-filled content, because while the week in the life videos, yes, they're entertaining, they don't really teach you that much about reselling, and I want you guys to be able to start if you want to and actually change your lives just like I did. But anyways, in this video, we're going to be going over mistakes that cost resellers thousands of dollars. Now, there's going to be a few different topics. First one is buy without thinking. And inside of each of these topics is just going to be a little rundown of things that people do that aren't smart. So for buying without thinking, just because something is on sale does not mean it's a good buy. It can be, say something that's $200 and it's on sale for $150. Sure, that's 25% off, but that's nothing really compared to the kind of deals that we normally get. And what are you going to sell it for if you do buy it at $150? Like $175? You're going to make $25 for a $150 investment? No, it just doesn't make sense. So make sure you understand just because something is on sale doesn't mean it's a good buy. Now, to go with that, just because something's cheap doesn't mean it's profitable either. I've had things that normally cost $80 that I've been able to get for just a few, and I had them forever and they didn't end up selling, and when they finally did sell, it was only for like 20 bucks. So it wasn't worth holding it for those months to only make, really less than 20 bucks because I've paid a few dollars for it. So last thing is overbuying on inventory. If something doesn't have good sales, you do not need to buy 30 plus units or whatever. You only need to buy like huge quantities of items like that sell like 10 plus times a week. For example, the ice makers that I recently got. I bought 30 of those. Now, I got them 3 days ago. I've already sold 7 of them. So those have been a really good mover. But something like that I made in the past, the gazebos and the fire pits, both of those I bought, it was 36 gazebos, and the fire pits I bought 40 of. And I only have like 10 gazebos left, but I've had them for months. And then the fire pits I've had even longer, and I still have like 20 something of those left. So both of those were bad buys. And the last thing for buying without thinking is just seeing that something has hype around it and thinking that's going to make it a good buy. For example, I did this with Pokemon cards when I first started. Any Pokemon cards I'd see, I would think it was an instant buy because people were showing these crazy profits on certain packs. But once again, it was only on certain packs. So just because something has hype around it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be profitable. Another mistake that people make that can cost them thousands is shipping prices. Do not ever go to UPS, USPS, or FedEx stores and pay for shipping there. You're going to be paying so much more. At a lot of places, you go online to websites such as like Pirate Ship or Shippo, you can get like up to 70% off sometimes. So something that if you went into the store, you'd pay like $22 to get it, you could get it for like $7. That's going to save you so much money. And if you do sell on eBay, they all have that as well. So you don't have to go from eBay to Pirate Ship. eBay already has it built in when you go to buy shipping labels from them. Next up is if you're only selling on one platform, you're just limiting yourself. Now, obviously, I get there's tons of different platforms. You don't need to list on every single one because there's some that simply just, it's not worth it. But main ones, I'd recommend eBay 100%, Facebook 100%, and even Mercari. For a while, I was actually banned on Mercari because I made the account before I was 18. But when I turned 18, I messaged them. They gave me the account back. So I've sold just within these past couple weeks, like $1,500 in sales on there. So Mercari is a really good option as well. And as you sell stuff, you're going to learn what sells better on certain platforms. So really hyped things, eBay is going to be the spot. Clearance things, eBay and Facebook are both really good. Mercari is really niche things, kind of random things, whether it be a Halloween decoration or a certain vinyl. So if you're only listing on one platform, go list on the others. Now there's places like Poshmark. I've tried listing on Poshmark, but there's so many bots on there that it's really, I just deleted the app because I would get like 50 messages a day and only 2 of them would be real people. The rest would be just bots. So I deleted that. And if you do sell clothing, Depop is a good spot to do that as well. Now the last mistake that can cost resellers thousands is expenses. A lot of people think, oh, I'm gonna buy something for $100, sell it for $150, and boom, I just made $50. Now, if you just bought it from the store and took it straight to somebody on Facebook, yeah, you made that. But if you sold it on eBay, you're gonna have fees, obviously. You're gonna have shipping. You're going to have shipping supply costs, tape, boxes, labels if you get one of those. So you got to understand that there's other expenses that come into it. It's not just a zero expenses game. There's really nothing that has zero expenses to it. But you just have to work that into the price. For me, boxes, I always think boxes cost about $1 a box. Sometimes you get them cheaper for that, but that's just a set number in my mind. So whenever I want to make more than $1 on something. But that's another thing that goes into how much you want to make on an item. If you're only making $5 an item and your box costs $1, then you only made $4. So like, it's just not really worth it. So that's why I always go for higher margin plays. And I mean, really, anything above 30 bucks isn't a bad play. Now, obviously, if you're spending $150 to make 30 bucks, that's not great. ROI plays a big role in that. But anything under a $30 margin, I usually don't go for it unless it's something that I'm getting for like $1 that sells a ton at $30. But just keep that in mind. And the other expenses, gas. I mean, you got to drive to these places. Now, if you're filing taxes on all this, which I would recommend if you plan to take it long term, then you can actually get write-offs for gas. It's like 70 cents a mile. So not bad at all. So track your mileage when you go out to stores. But that's just another expense that a lot of people just don't think of. So it's just something to keep in mind. But these four are really the main ones I thought of off the top of my head. Now, if you guys have some other video recommendations or questions that you want me to make videos on, go ahead and drop them down in the comments. If you want to talk to me directly, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'll leave it in the description as well. But that's going to be the end of this week's video. I hope you guys found it helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.